Okay, so can we actually just get to our guest because I'm really, really excited.
Yes. Okay. So
drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please. Here comes a description read by yours truly. Dani Calleiro is a YouTuber, graphic designer, environmentalist, and jewelry designer that has grown up on the internet. Beginning at 9 years old, she was in a band with her 5 sisters called Cimorelli that went viral on YouTube for their song covers and music videos starting in 2009. Since leaving the band in 2019, whatever, say it how you want. In 2019, Dani has forged her own path with her husband. Yes, she's a newlywed, got married at 19. We'll cover that later. She's opening up a lot more about her personal life on her new YouTube channels, expanding her brand and creating a whole new aesthetic for herself. We cannot wait to dive into this conversation with this Gen Z icon. So with no further ado, welcome Dani.
Dani.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Here's the Thing, Sister Dani. How's it going?
I'm so excited.
I'm honestly kind of starstruck. I'm not going to lie. My cousin and I have been watching your YouTube videos since you were literally 9. So I was texting her and she was like, there's no way you got Dani. And I'm like, yeah, we kind of did. So
no, we literally wait. She replied, oh wow.
We were okay. Now we have to, let's get our shit together vibes. But yeah, we're really excited to have you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, of course. I literally go on my Instagram all day long and just check my DMs all day long. And I've literally nothing better to do. I don't go anywhere anymore at all. So I'm I might as well go on a podcast,
Pandemic vibes,
So for everyone that doesn't know you, describe yourself a little bit.
Give the background, because I literally, I could fully probably give a very comprehensive overview, but a lot of people, maybe haven't been a stan since 2000, whatever year. I don't even know.
Yeah,
go off. Tell the people.
Yeah, well, my name is Dani. My name is Dani Calleiro. That's my new last name, and my last name used to be Cimorelli. So you probably, if you recognize me, it's from being in Cimorelli, which is a band with my sisters that I used to be in since I was 10 years old, so pretty much my whole life. And then last year I transitioned out of that and kind of into my own social media career, husband, and also with myself. So I have a channel with my husband called Dani Emmyn. I have my own personal channel just called Dani Calleiro. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much what anyone would know about me or want to know. That's the basis. Yeah, right now I kind of just make YouTube videos about tons of different things. Just my life, I've transitioned into I'm trying to be a full-time vlogger now. So I kind of just show my boring ass life and hope people find it entertaining. And that's literally all I do now. So it's a good time though.
Okay, they're definitely not boring. Your vlogs are really good. And you have a whole vibe, a whole aesthetic. Your graphics are on point. You do the whole thing,
Thank you.
And the dog, have you seen your dog? No. Dude.
Oh my God, he's perfect.
He's really cute.
What's his name?
He's adorable. His name's Norman, and he's a Bernedoodle. Yeah, so he's fluffy and adorable and annoying, and I love him. So he's perfect.
Okay, so you mentioned that you are married, and you're obviously young. Mm-hmm. You're 20, right?
Yeah, I'm 20.
Okay, so I'm 25, Janet's 23. We're wives in training. We would love, to eventually settle down. However, not the case for us so far. So tell us a little bit about your love story, and also how did people in your life react when you got married so young?
Oh yeah, that's a big part of my life. I mean, I never really thought that I don't know. I never really had an idea or a plan for my life. I'm not a planner. I was just kind of down for whatever. But I did grow up in a family where nobody else got married young. So I was definitely the odd one out, I guess you could say. Most of my sisters are about to be or are married. Now it will be about 4 out of 6 of us, I think. But I was the second one and I'm the youngest. So I was 19 and let me go back a little bit. I met my husband, my then boyfriend, when I was 17. Yes, 17. And we dated for a year. And then on our year anniversary, then he asked me to marry him. And I was like, okay, because we had been talking about it for honestly, since a few months in. It was a very weird, I want to say spiritual thing where it was we kind of just know that this is going to happen. We're not going to date anybody else. And honestly, we could have I don't know. We didn't have some perfect relationship that was just oh, we're so happy together. We're just going to get married. It wasn't that. It was more him and I both were down to get married young, knowing that it was going to be harder than if we got married at 30 or 25 or whatever, like a lot of people do. And it was more just about like a commitment and being serious about it. And I know a lot of 20-year-olds don't want that, but that was just like what, I don't know. I just felt like it was going to be a really good time. And I've always been the type of person who doesn't like being alone. And I love having a person with me all the time. And he's kind of the same way. And just like, I don't know, we kind of just fit together really nicely. So we were kind of just like, you know what? Marriage is all about like choice and just making it work. So there's no reason to say like, oh, we should just wait a few years and then it will work. Because like, if we're going to wait a few years, we might as well just get married now. If we just think we're going to be married in a few years, I just think there's no point. So yeah, he proposed to me on our year anniversary, our anniversary, I guess. And then we got married really shortly after. I think it was like 3 months after. Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 months after. And so then it started like the whole telling everybody and experiencing like the, I guess, backlash of getting married young, because like literally nobody around me had ever done that. And I think that it's very common in like non-denominational Protestant like circles. And I wasn't in one of those. Like I was a very Catholic person growing up, and my family was very Catholic. So it was not a normal thing to get married young. Emmyn kind of grew up on the opposite. Emmyn's my husband, by the way, for everybody listening. Emmyn kind of grew up on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like his mom was a teen mom and they got married really young. And it was just like, they were just super happy. Like, yeah, do whatever you want. If you want to do that, that's awesome. They were very supportive, but there was definitely there was just definitely a general response from most people in my life, like whether it be family or friends or just like anybody who was kind of like weary about it. And
like,
I get
are you sure
like,
vibes?
Yeah. Like I didn't expect anything else though, because I'm not like a stupid person who's going to think, oh, everybody's just going to be happy for me. Like that's just not really realistic. I think most people are going to be like, what are you doing? Like that might not be a good idea. And I get it. Like I wasn't expecting anything else from anybody. So it was definitely very, very, very hard in the beginning. And especially like right when we got engaged. But honestly, the hardest part of it all was me not being able to like put my foot down and say, this is what I want. Like, I think I started to be kind of shaky because people were questioning me. So the more people questioned, the more I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I just want to get this over with. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to plan anything. Like, let's just do it so that I can get past it and it's fine. Which kind of sucked because it ruined my whole wedding experience. Like, obviously, if I had a more positive response, I would have just been able to like, have a fun wedding and do whatever I always dreamed of as a child. But times change, whatever. It doesn't matter. So I had a stressful 3 months and then we got married in December. And then since then, everything kind of gets better and everything has just been kind of slowing down and calming down. And I think anybody who was shocked or confused at first is like used to it now and it's a little bit more normal. So things are definitely okay now, but it was not the easiest thing, to say the least. Like getting married young is not for everybody. And I see it all the time because I get DMs all the time from people saying, I'm getting married and I'm 20 and I have the same experience as you, or I'm engaged and my family doesn't approve of it and it's horrible. Like, do you have any advice? Like, I get so many girls messaging me saying that they're in the same situation that I was in. So it definitely is not, I don't really think it's easy for most people. So that was just my experience.
Wasn't this also during the time when you were transitioning from the band as well? Or am I not a part of the time? Is not the timeline?
No, it was definitely the same time. Like I got engaged in August and then I announced that I was leaving the band in December, but I'd planned to leave the band for like, I want to say like 6 months to a year before I even announced that I was engaged. So there was definitely an overlap in like the timeline of like, she's engaged, she's married, she left the band, whatever. And then obviously since I got married, then I sort of distanced myself from anybody, like anybody would when they first get married. You get excited, you hang out with your husband more. And then also the coronavirus hit literally a month after. So there was all this like speculation online, like, oh, there's this drama and she doesn't want to hang out with her family or something like that. But it was like this combination of things that was like poor timing with coronavirus and getting married and leaving the band.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it was all separated, it wouldn't have really been an issue. Or like if I had left the band and then got married or something that nobody thought.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it kind of just all piled up and happened at one time.
Yeah. And
okay, I have so many questions,
sorry.
or I have like so many things to say. So first of all, like I feel like that's so frustrating that you experience, like it makes sense that like your family and friends would be like, but you're so young, like are you sure you don't want to experience things? But also like that's such a personal decision. And like you said, if you were legitimately only 5 years older, I feel like almost all of that would have been out the window. Like nobody would have been like, are you sure? It would have been like, totally. Oh my God, congrats. And it's like at this age, obviously 5 years is like a big difference. But in like 15 years, like if you're 5 years apart from somebody, nobody even cares.
Right. Exactly.
So it's just wild that it's like just because somebody has like 6 or 7 more years of life experience that people are all like, you're not ready.
Oh, yeah.
And especially like you have a lot of siblings too. Tell the people about that.
Yeah, I'm the 8th out of 11 siblings. So it's definitely not like,
that's insane.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not just like a couple kids and it's like, okay, she's married, whatever. It's like
lots of opinions.
A lot. Yes, lots of responses, lots of opinions. And you know what? I totally understand it though, because like statistically, people who get married young are more likely to get divorced. Like your likelihood of all the bad things that could possibly happen in marriage do rise a lot the younger you get married. And it makes sense. Like I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't know what they're doing and are just kind of like, oh, I'm happy, let's get married. And they don't fully understand that it's more of a commitment than it is about a feeling. But for some reason, like me and my husband were both in the mindset of like, this, it's not really necessarily about feelings. It's more just about like a realistic commitment and like the fact that our life goals align so much and long-term we want the same thing. So it just kind of made sense, you know?
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but also like the fact that you have so many older siblings, I feel like that just like probably puts you on like a more mature scale, you know, like you've seen so many people like grow up and like, I feel like when I'm the oldest, but I feel like when you're younger, you get to see different people like very close to you that are experiencing different ages and different things, which like gives you so much more of a perspective. So I feel like, I don't know, I probably would have been like, wow, like she's getting married young, but like, sis,
right?
Like get your bag, do your thing, get your bag, you're good.
Speaking of all of like your siblings, like were there like kind of like cliques in your family? Like, I don't know, like there had to have been like maybe like 5 or 6 of like, you know, of your siblings maybe felt a certain way about like, not even about you, but about anything.
Just like growing up, like, I mean, since there's so many of you.
Were some of you guys closer to like, you know, a certain sibling than the other?
In every way. Like not even just like the age difference, but also in terms of like generationally, like half, like a third of them are millennials and then a third are like Gen Z and then the rest, a third are millennial, maybe half are millennials, half are like Gen Z, and then there's some in between that are kind of both.
Yeah.
But like that definitely makes a big difference in like any sense of that. Like when it comes to opinions on anything, like it like totally shows, changes
music, like so many things.
Yeah, like everything. Like if my siblings who are born in the 90s versus my siblings who were born in the 2000s, it's like completely different. So
that makes sense. That totally makes sense. So for people that don't know, the band you're in, Cimorelli, legit has millions of subscribers. So you said you joined the band when you were 10. Yeah. So what was that like growing up? Because first of all, around that time, that's kind of when social media happened. So not only were you like thrown into like social media in general already at a young age, but you were thrown into social media with millions of eyes on you. So what kind of was that like? I feel like you're like an OG influencer.
I mean, kind of. So like, I was 10 and it was 2010. I was born in 2000. So that was like, I remember Twitter had come out like a couple years before and like YouTube was just starting. There was like a few music YouTubers, but really not that many. So I think you totally have it right that like it was very beginning. It was not a lot of people. And for me as a kid, it was just really fun at the time. Like at least most of it. The beginning, like when I was first starting, I was definitely very excited about it. And it was very like fun for me. Cause like I loved Hannah Montana and I loved like the idea of people watching me and performing. And like I loved hanging out with my sisters. Yeah. It was like
that's honestly a 10-year-old full-blown dream.
Literally. Yeah.
Like legitimate dream.
Totally. And there wasn't like, I feel like a lot of not YouTubers, but just musicians in general have to go through years of touring or this like grueling process of growing a fan base. But like and my sisters kind of did that for a couple of years, but honestly, they got very lucky. And I kind of jumped in like right when their like break happened, because like you said, they came in like right at the beginning of YouTube. So it was this group of 6 sisters or it was 5 sisters before me, but that nobody had ever seen before. And there was no other group like that online. So it was like, I think it was just like an instant, like, yeah, this is unique. This is cool. Let's just like, everybody watch this. So I kind of just came in when it was already big and it was just there for me. And I was like, okay. And I also came in when they were being signed to Universal at the time. So I was like a marketing piece, I guess you could say. Like I was like leverage for the Universal deal, which was like really fun for me. It was cool. It was like, wow, this is really important. So it was definitely very, very, very fun starting it in the beginning. It was certainly weird. And I didn't really notice any of the effects that it had on me till I was older. Like I definitely did not notice till I was a teenager and like looking back. But at the time I was just kind of like, oh, this is a good time. Like for the first couple of years.
That's what I was going to ask next was like, when did you start thinking like, I kind of want to transition out of this? And like, was it hard? Like, did you just like think about it to yourself? Did you, confide in one of your siblings about it or your husband, or boyfriend at the time? Like, how did that process start for you?
Yeah. So the thing was like, when I was joining something as a 10-year-old, obviously you don't have the capacity to think long term at that age. So while I was joining it willingly, I definitely didn't have the thought process of like, oh, this is my career forever. Like I never thought that.
Right.
It was just like, oh, this is something super fun. And like, you don't think of it. It just doesn't cross your mind. And so I started like thinking of other things. I think honestly, when I started to get very busy with it, like when it started to become so important in my life that I didn't go to social events or I couldn't do sports or like certain things that like normal like middle schoolers could do. I think that was when I started to think like, okay, now what's my opportunity to like go be a normal person? Probably when I go to college. So I started to think about college. That was probably the first thing that I thought of when I want to say in middle school. I was like, oh, okay. So like, I'll do this for a while and then I'll go to college. And I initially thought like, cause I grew up wanting to be a fashion designer my whole life. Now I would literally never do that, but I wanted to do that. And I was like, okay, I'll go to school in New York. And like, I remember being a middle schooler, like looking up different schools and I wanted to go to there's like 3 different universities that I like looked up and I knew the names of, and I was like, I want to go to these places. I want to do this for my career. And I didn't really put together that like one thing had to end for the other thing to happen or that it even would, like, I don't know. I just it never really came to life. Obviously until literally like last year, I guess. So it was kind of like a dream of like being normal, I guess, that came into my life like every year or so. And the career would always change. So it was like, okay, I want to be a fashion designer when I was really young. And then like a couple of years later, it was something else. And then it was something else. And then it was something else. And it wasn't ever necessarily like, I really don't like what I'm doing. Like I want to do something else because again, I was really little. It wasn't like, oh, I want my long-term career right now.
You were really thinking about the bigger picture at 10.
Yeah, exactly. I was more just thinking like, oh, when I'm older, I'm really excited to do this other thing because I'm the type of person who always wants to do something new and change up what she's doing. So it was just a getting excited about the future kind of thing.
That makes sense. I mean, also like when you're 10, it's like you probably don't even realize that you're like working, like it was like fun with your sisters.
You were like, I'm Hannah Montana. What are you guys talking about?
You're like, what? Also, like at that point, it's like if all your sisters are doing something, like what? You're just going to be in the other room, like, okay, guys, like, bye, like, why not be fully involved in it?
Totally.
It makes sense.
I remember them like doing shows without me. And I was like, no, like I want to do it with you, like before I was in the band. So it was always something I wanted to do.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. That's so crazy. I couldn't imagine doing anything for that long, honestly.
Do you have like a moment when you look back on your career, like being in the band career, that was like the highlight, your Hannah Montana moment?
Honestly, all the touring, because there was a lot of like behind the scenes, like logistical stuff that was so boring to me growing up. Because,
yeah,
like that was just like, going to meetings or whatever. Like there was just whatever. But I think the touring and there was honestly, I think the like Hannah Montana moments that I think of are like our biggest shows. So like when I was I want to say 14. Then we played for like 20,000 people in Spain.
Oh.
And it was this festival, and it was a Coca-Cola music festival. And it was like, everybody was singing our songs. Like, we were part of the lineup. We weren't the headliner, but somehow like everybody knew our songs because we had a lot of fans in Spain. And it was like one of those moments where I went out and I was like, this is not real. And it was in like an arena, like it was a huge show. And then we
had
like,
a Cheetah Girls moment.
He's like, sorry, not Hannah Montana.
You had a Cheetah Girls, like Cheetah Girls 2 in Spain moment.
Yeah, exactly. So just like those big shows, and like we had another one of those in Germany and another one in the Philippines, which is so random. Like when you go halfway across the world or whatever, and these are people who know my songs and know who I am. And I'm literally I'm barely hitting puberty right now, and people know who I am. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, you're like I'm legit 2 years old. That's so wild. That's so awesome though, because like especially like you've already had so many years of that experience, and now you're able to like already fully do what you want, you know? And it's like you've already experienced that. You had like a great time doing that. You have all these life experiences, but like now you're fully like have full agency over everything that you're doing.
And can try something completely different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Too.
It's wild. Okay. So more about your husband, because I'm just like so fascinated. What do you like so far? So you guys have been married for like almost a year now, kind of?
Yeah, almost a year.
That's wild. So what is one thing about marriage that you like that people that aren't married or like getting married wouldn't expect from your opinion?
I don't know. I feel like marriage is very mundane. Okay, maybe that's it. I think the thing that not that I didn't expect, but maybe people wouldn't expect is that marriage is so normal. Like, it's fun and it's exciting. And like, when you first get married, it's like, oh my God, we're married. And like, honestly, once every few weeks, my husband and I look at each other, we're like, are we married? Like, we just like remind each other of that. Like, are you serious? This is like nobody else forever. Okay. And I think that the thing that a lot of people think marriage is is that it's like this fun, happy, exciting thing all the time. And it's just like, oh, my best friend all the time. And like, yeah, me and my husband have fun and we laugh and it's great and we love each other. But also it's mainly just like sitting and working and driving and getting
literally.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. It's literally like every personal private thing that you do in your house that you never think anybody's going to see, like doing that with somebody else. Like I'm sitting on the bathroom floor painting my nails after I took a shower, and like he walks in like, what are you doing? Like, it's just like
hey.
I'm like,
yeah, it's like everything you do like is just shared with somebody else now.
Yeah.
And I guess now you have to like create time for yourself and like
Yes.
be really intentional about that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people think marriage is just like really exciting and like, oh, and it's fun. But I think it's mainly just a lot of boring stuff that you get to share with your person, which honestly, I find very fun. So
no, totally.
I feel like I feel like also like the pandemic probably was like a good, even though obviously this has been like so trash and like terrible and horrible in every way. But in terms of being newlyweds, you guys will probably never have to spend, well, I guess you both work from home, so maybe, but like just like post-pandemic, like you'll be able to like go to more places, like go to your friend's house and come back. But you guys have been like in the same place for basically almost a year, like just as newlyweds, and like seems like you guys are thriving. So,
oh my gosh, this is like the ultimate test. I feel like,
no, totally.
Being stuck in a house together and having to get used to it. Like there's been a couple days where we reach our, like, I think maybe 2 days where we reach our breaking point and we're like, we are going crazy because I think sometimes in this pandemic, especially like and cause we work from home, like you said, like just so the listeners know, like we both do YouTube full time. He has a music channel and he has our channel and I have our channel and my own channel. And then I have some other side things that I do. Like we literally do everything from our house. We have no reason to leave the house. Mm-hmm. So like, I think there's that thing that happens like when it's like without even the pandemic, like when it's summertime and you're just like watching Netflix or inside or like you have no plans at all. And you know that like endless clock feeling where it's like, I don't know what day it is. That's obviously what's happening right now. And when you get into that, you like, sometimes you stop showering all the time and you stop changing your clothes and doing your makeup or like any sort of thing to take care of yourself, and having that with another person and like reaching your breaking point of like, I'm losing my mind right now with somebody else can be so hard.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, but like the fact that we can reach that and then actually come together and be like, okay, we need to fix this. Our lives are not thriving right now.
Let's reset. Let's refresh a little bit.
Yeah. So it's actually like a really good thing. Like it's this great test of like, how much can we be stuck together and not kill each other? And then also like, we can do it together and like fix it and become better together, I guess.
Totally. Okay, that's goals, full-on goals.
So like speaking of like working from home and you guys are like running your businesses together at home, like is there like a project or like something coming up that you're excited about to share with everyone? You don't have to spill all the tea, but like is there something that like you're working on right now that you're really excited and passionate about?
Oh, there's so many things. Like we just started of course. We just started our career like together from home. I want to say like in the beginning of the year, I think January is when we really started saying we're going to do this. And I was very scared at first because I had just left the band and I was like really grasping at straws, trying to pick a career so that people wouldn't be disappointed in me. Like I just left this band. So let me tell everybody like, okay, I want to be a designer. I want to work at a design place or whatever it is. Like I immediately started school to become a software developer because I love that. It's fun for me. But like, I really was like grasping, trying to not let everybody down. Like I swear I left the band for a reason. And I felt like if I were to leave and then start my own social media career, it would be not a good thing because it would make me look bad or make my sisters look bad or something. And I didn't want that. So now that him and I have kind of gotten our feet on the ground and I've really become confident in that and realized like I wasn't made for a normal job. And I think that being put in the band at 10 conditioned me to not be made for a normal job. I couldn't do it at all.
Like a desk job in a cubicle?
No, I couldn't do it.
Never.
Probably not.
Never.
Yeah. And I always thought that like I was going to leave the band and go do this normal thing that I was always thinking I was going to do. But I realized it's not for me. Like I was born to just do a bunch of things at once. And so because of that, him and I have just been like doing whatever we want, especially since we have so much time. So like Emmyn, my husband, he started his music up again and he's been in the band since he was like a kid, like a pop punk band. And he loves music and I love his music because pop punk's like one of my favorite genres ever. That's like one of the first things we bonded about in our relationship. And like the reason I literally fell in love with him is because I saw him at his show performing and I was like, oh my God, this is so attractive.
This is him.
Yeah. So anyway, he is doing his music right now, which is super exciting for me. And I get to be like really involved in that because obviously I used to do music. And that's like the one thing I don't do anymore because I think that's surprisingly the thing I was least passionate about. Like I like singing and I sing all day long and it's like whatever, but I don't have any interest in doing it as a career at all. So it's fun for him to be doing it and me to get to like help him with his harmonies or recording or his videos.
You're like, I'll touch in on the fun stuff.
Yeah. And to like not have the pressure of like having to do it all, like can do it when you want kind of a vibe.
Totally.
It's super fun. So like he's doing his music right now. And then I have a Lightroom preset thing that I started doing. So I came out with a Lightroom preset this month. And then I have another one coming out next month. And I'm going to start doing it like a monthly thing. And that was honestly like a last minute thing. Like I've never been like a photographer or somebody who's super into photo editing, but recently I got into it a lot and I really like doing it. And I found there was an issue with every Lightroom preset that I bought where it was too intense because I have really, really pale skin. I'm on like one of the far skin spectrums. And so every preset I got made me look so weird. And I felt that anybody else who has like an intense skin tone that's not just like kind of tan is probably having the same issue as me.
Totally.
It's so difficult.
Presets, I'm like, they don't work for me, but this sounds like this could work.
All of the Instagram filters, I'm like, they were not tested on Black people. Like, I'm like, who signed up? Who signed off? Not
totally. And so many of them look so weird on me because my skin is like white. So I wanted to basically make a preset, and my first preset ever was called Subtle and Vibrant, which is kind of like, now that I think about it, those words don't really make sense, but whatever. It was supposed to mean like
subtle and vibrant.
Thank you. It was supposed to mean that it's like so subtle that it's not going to change your skin tone or make you look weird, but it's still going to like add a little bit of color to your feed and like make you look nice and give you like a glow. So basically all the presets that I come out with, I want them to be like obviously they're going to be varied in how they look, but I want every single one to be able to work on all skin tones because it's so frustrating. And I'm sure it would be frustrating for you guys too. Like anybody who buys a preset and can't freaking use it because it makes them look weird.
You're like,
that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, that's really cool. Especially because everybody's editing photos now because of Instagram.
Everyone.
Like it's not like back in the good old days, I guess, where like the only people that were editing photos were like photographers or like early photographers, I guess.
Yeah. So
really
when
cool
I was developing when I developed any of my presets, but like when I first started doing it, I asked like everybody, like, please send me photos of yourself. And I specifically asked Black women specifically because I was like, I need to make sure this works on dark skinned Black women.
Right. Yeah.
And so I asked for tons of pictures from all kinds of people and I tested on every single one and I do it for all my presets. And so the one that I'm coming out with, I think I'm coming out with it in a few days, honestly. I don't know. I'm pretty last minute about things, but that one I just finished like testing everything on. So I'm super excited to release that.
We gotta get it.
Yeah, we need it.
No, I'll email it to you guys. I'll send you guys both of them so you can try them because I really want you to try. Guys, they're only like $3. It's really not a big deal. So anyway,
we're like, oh my God. Because honestly, like if we could get our feed looking like all that.
Need help. We need
help with our feed. It's a little
hopefully they look good. But anyway, I'm really excited about that. And then the last thing I would say is my jewelry / like store in general. Mm-hmm. So I started a store. It's called XO Dani. Guys, I'm sorry. There's so many things I'm talking about, but like
that's really amazing.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Yeah, we're like
we're fascinated. We're like
full-blood entrepreneur, multiple business owner. Like like
and you're married.
I need to take notes.
So I started a store kind of at the same time I started releasing my presets because I used to sell clothes on Depop and I started like buying and reselling vintage clothes and like I liked it kind of, but I really have a hard time with clothes. Like I'm literally wearing like leggings and a shirt right now. Like I look good sometimes, but I'm not like some people just have like a natural knack for fashion.
Yeah.
I didn't get that gene.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I kind of have to try. It's not natural.
Yeah. I didn't get that. So doing clothes was really stressful for me. So I decided to do jewelry instead. And turns out I actually have a very natural knack for jewelry, I think, even though I'm literally not wearing any jewelry right now. But I just feel like I have, but I have an easier time like knowing what's cute and what's ugly with jewelry because it's so much more simple, you know?
Yes.
Yes. It's not like so many options and so many styles. It's like, okay, this is pretty. I would wear this. It's cool.
Yes.
So I've been doing little launches of like 20 items. Like that's all I've been doing. And I've done like 3 of those and they all went really super well. And then I'm doing one this month that I'm like doubling the size. So I'm doing like 50 items now. And I do it all myself. I literally
like hand make them?
Yeah. Like I make the jewelry and I ship it out and I take the pictures and I list it and everything. And I do that along with doing my YouTube channels and my presets and everything else.
She's a busy girl.
Yeah, I'm a very busy girl. So those are like the main things I'm super excited about. And then also I'm thinking, I haven't even told anybody this yet, but I'm thinking about doing t-shirts now for my clothes for my store. So I also draw and I do art and I do it very much. Like I'm really like getting into it because I do graphic design kind of, but it was always just like words, like nothing crazy. Yeah, like I always wanted to draw. So I started drawing and like making actual kind of art pieces that I'm trying to do. So I'm thinking of making some shirts like next month or something like that. But guys, possibilities are endless. I have so many things.
I mean, wow. Like you literally needed to leave the band in order to like do all this shit. Like how else would you have known?
Exactly.
You're only 20. Like there's so much time. Wow.
Yes, there's so many things. So many
things.
You're
impressed.
So cool.
You're so cool. Inspired. I was like, what's the word?
Inspired, motivated. Like now we're going to hang up and be like, okay, wait, what do we need to do now?
Literally.
We're not doing enough. We have a fun little game we wanted to play with you, a rapid fire Q&A.
Okay.
So you can just answer with one word, yes or no kind of thing. And I feel like they're kind of fun questions.
Some of them aren't yes or no, but like if it is a yes or no, obviously say yes or no. Or like it's one word. So basically exactly what Janet just said.
Correct.
Sorry, what is going on?
I think you're still starstruck.
I honestly think I am. I think I'm like a little bit nervous or something.
No, she's never like this.
Oh.
Uh-oh. She's starstruck. It's so funny. Okay, I'll start off to give you a
Okay. It's not that fucking serious.
I'm kidding.
Now she's dragging me.
Who is your favorite influencer you've met with or collabed with in the past?
Oh, it's supposed to be rapid fire, guys. Oh, my brain breaks sometimes. Okay. Collabed with probably James Charles. He's like the only influencer I'm actually friends with. Like, I don't talk to him on a daily basis, but like him and I and my James sisters. Him and I really connected when he did a video with me and my sisters like last year. Stayed at my house when he came to Nashville. And so we got to like talk a little bit more than everybody else because he was literally in my home. And him and I have actually like sort of kept up and doing videos with him. Like we did 2 videos with him in the past, or maybe more than that, maybe 4 videos. I don't know. We did a lot of videos with him in the past. And so every time he was just the best ever. And I love him so much. So he's great. Then that's literally the only influencer. I never did a lot of collabs. I met somebody like Laura DIY. We did a video with her. She was really, really nice. And there's probably some other people that I'm forgetting and that sucks. But generally, I think he was the one off the top of my head.
That's amazing. One. I imagine him like walking, like I can't imagine him just like in a t-shirt and shorts. Like I imagine him like constantly full glam, like ring lights, like following him.
No,
like,
literally. We're pretty obsessed with him if you can't tell.
No, he's so normal. He's literally exactly like on the internet. Like he's no different at all. Like, and he doesn't wear makeup at all. Like only when he's doing
like 24/7. Yeah, I literally imagine him full glam 24/7.
Yeah.
So, I've fallen victim to believing everything I see online. It's fine.
Okay. I love him.
Okay. How many kids do you want?
I'm so cliche. I want to say like 4. I don't know. I want to adopt kids before I start having kids naturally, assuming I don't accidentally have a child. So
it happens.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll find like a set of twins I want to adopt, and then I'll find 3 more kids. I don't know. Like I'm open to whatever.
I
like that. Yeah. What is your favorite?
We both want at least 4. Definitely.
I like that number a lot.
Big family vibes. Love.
What is your favorite video you've ever posted?
Ooh. Okay, honestly, it's really cliche, but every video that I post becomes my new favorite video. So my last vlog that I posted was called like Positive Day Vlog or Happy Day Vlog or something like that. And that one I really like feel like my personality came through really well in that one. So I really love that one. And then I'm currently, literally I spent all day editing and now I'm talking to you guys like I was editing right before I called you. My next video, which is coming out on Sunday, which is my new favorite video, I think, which is surprising my husband with his new office. So I like basically for his birthday, I redid his whole office and he didn't know about it. And it's like an awesome video. And so
wait,
like just his reaction.
Off? How did you?
It was.
Okay, we're gonna have to watch. We're gonna have to watch the video. Okay. Was it my turn?
Yes, your turn.
What is your favorite song of all time?
Okay. She's Thunderstorms by Arctic Monkeys. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have this answer right off the top of their head, but I have an obsession with Arctic Monkeys. I don't listen to them anymore, but like, you know, when you just have a band that has a special place in your heart, they really do. And that song specifically, after the second chorus going into the bridge, the chord changes and it becomes like minor and it's really nerdy, but I literally will listen to that one section like on repeat sometimes just because I really like this part. So if you play She's Thunderstorms by Arctic Monkeys and go to the second chorus, the very end of it, into the bridge, that is my favorite part of any song.
She's like, oh, you want to know? She's like, here it is.
She gave us a timestamp. She didn't just give us a song. She said this point. Love that.
I love that you knew that. You're like, oh, here it is.
You're like, yup.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Do you prefer texting or calling?
Texting, definitely. I feel stressed out when people call me. Like, I like calling to catch up. Like, I would call somebody if they're like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
But in general, like, I just like to text because it's easier.
Or like a pre-text, like a, hey, want to talk later?
I don't like being ambushed by phone.
Yeah.
It is, especially if it's somebody that you don't talk to that often, then you're like, something's wrong. And then it's anxiety sets in. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Okay. Who is the last person you texted or called?
That's a really good question. Let's see. The last person I texted was my sister. And she was texting me and I was saying that TikTok song, me fun, and we were texting each other the lyrics to that and laughing. So that's my last text message.
But I love
quality content. Okay.
If you could collab with one person, living or dead, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's such a hard question. Wait. Emmyn! Oh, he can't hear me. Damn it. He would know because he always remembers things for me because I forget.
Yeah,
But there's
you're like, I've said
definitely
this.
somebody. Oh, okay. Number one would be Best Dressed.
Oh, yes.
So
Love her.
yeah.
Love
He's
her
like the most
content.
amazing YouTuber I've ever seen in my life. And then this is super random. I don't know if I want to collab with her. Honestly, I just want to be friends with her. But there's this girl whose name is Lily Ann, and she is friends. Do you guys know who Haley Pham is?
Yes.
She's friends with Haley Pham, and they do a podcast together. And she has a like clothing store / like sticker, like art store that she does her drawing on. And if I could like do something with her or just be friends with her, like I love her. So it would be like Best Dressed or that girl.
Oh, I love that.
Why did I feel like I just asked that? Okay. Which sibling would you want to switch lives with for a week?
You're like, there's literally
like,
so many.
There's so many. Oh my God.
Or a day. I feel like a week is kind of extreme.
Yeah, just a day maybe.
It's a lot. I miss my husband. Probably one of my brothers. I have 3 little brothers and they're teenagers. And I don't know what the hell they do with their lives. So like it would be fun to like see what they're doing. Like one of my brothers is literally in seminary in Texas, like learning about church stuff. So I think it'd be cool to like be there and see what he's doing.
Right. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a TV show recommendation? Or what are you binging right now? What are you watching?
Oh my God. All my shows are like shows everybody else watches.
Like what?
So I just finished Parks and Recreation. I just finished
Quality.
that. Emmyn and I hadn't seen it before, and we watched it every single night until it was done. Like we are obsessed with that show. But the show that I've watched the most is New Girl. I watch that show all the time. I was literally watching it while I was getting ready for this. I just play it in the background of my life. But I think a show that people might not have heard of that I could recommend is The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Have you guys seen that?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Wait, really? I couldn't get
so
into
good.
it. I've tried multiple times.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, I'll try again.
It's definitely like a specific type of humor and like vibe. It's not.
It's so my.
Yeah, you think I would like it?
Yes.
It's really funny though. It's
really
I'll give
funny.
it a chance per your guys' recommendation. Okay, wait. Didn't we already ask that one? What is your favorite song?
Oh wait, yeah, that was
okay. That was our conclusion. The conclusion of our rapid Q&A.
It's really, really awesome. Like
Why is it the end? I feel like it's been 10 minutes.
No, see, yeah, we do this thing where we like can talk for hours, and then people are like, "Oh, I thought it was only 30 minutes." Like,
but we've legit been talking for over an hour. Isn't that weird?
That's so weird.
Like, I actually feel like we just got on, but still, first of all, I can't believe you replied that you took the time to talk to us.
I'm clearly shook. I feel like everybody listening is gonna be like, "Why is Alexa so awkward
and so quiet today?"
I was quiet. I wasn't quiet.
You're a little quiet. You're a little quiet. No, but seriously, like this is legit dream come true. Like the best literally hour of our lives.
Amazing content, sister. You also killed it. Like first podcast and you came ready with answers. Very, very in-depth answer. What can I not speak? Okay, I'm gonna be done.
I think Alexa's done.
Yeah.
But so where can everyone find you if they don't? I mean, I'm sure everybody listening knows where to find you, but if they don't, where can they find you?
Yeah, of course. My YouTube is Dani Calleiro, and I will spell that because it's hard to type. It's Calleiro. So you could, if you're having a hard time, you could just say Dani Calleiro, like a weirdo, but whatever. So there's that. That's my YouTube. My Instagram is @ConsciousCalleiro, like, conscious, like Earth conscious or something. I hate that username, but I can't get my normal one back. It's fine. Anyway, I have a channel with my husband and it's called Dani and Emmyn. That's spelled EMMYN, and Dani is spelled DANI. Everything is so hard to spell.
We'll have it tagged.
Oh, we're tagging everything.
We'll tag everything.
We're tagging everything. Don't you even worry. Everything will be tagged. Yeah. And I'm sure everyone already knows who you are because you're that cool.
Maybe. My shop is called Exo Dani. So it's Shop Exo Dani on Instagram. I don't have a website yet, but you can go to my Instagram and you'll find everything there. And that's literally everything. But guys, this was so fun. I love this. You guys are so fun.
Thank you. I can't believe you had fun.
Thanks so much, Dani, for coming on the pod. I'm still it's been an hour and I'm still starstruck, but now we're friends, getting a little less nervous, and we just thank you so much for joining. We had the best time.
Thank you.
That was so much fun. I'm so happy that I could come on here, and we definitely need to do this again because I feel like there's so much more to talk about.
No,
Yeah,
literally.
we'll do a part 2. Like we have to.
Yeah,
it'll
we
be
gotta.
a thing.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.